This is Anna Bauer for Module 2, Designer Topic 1. The videos are produced by Detroit Public Television and Mort Krim Communications 2003. The Learning Classroom, Theory into Practice. Session 5, Feelings Count, Emotions and Learning. Session 6, The Classroom Mosaic, Culture and Learning. And Session 7, Learning from Others and Learning in a Social Context. These were available at http://learner.org/resources/series172.html. The first video, Feelings Count, discusses how emotions influence how people learn. As teachers, we need to create emotionally safe classrooms where students feel safe. The video states that as teachers, it is part of our job to teach students to manage their emotions by 1. Recognizing and articulating their feelings, 2. Empathizing, and 3. Solving social conflicts, or to be emotionally intelligent. The video explains that when a student is emotionally intelligent, they are better able to learn content and can think more critically. So, it is important students can manage their emotions because otherwise teachers are constantly working with behavior problems and not focusing on content. Especially in the high school, teachers only see students for 40 to 50 minutes a day, and they don't have as much time to constantly work on and correct those skills throughout the year. It is important to create emotionally safe classrooms right away. The video states when students are emotionally intelligent, they have better awareness of the classroom environment around them. They are able to manage themselves better, have empathy, and are able to solve problems in the social context. They are also self-motivated. In the video, there were 2 examples shown of classrooms. One was a 5th grade classroom and one was a middle school band classroom. In the 5th grade classroom, they worked on conflict resolution and how students can work productively in social settings. In the band classroom, the teacher talks about how important it is for her to really get to know kids at the beginning, to build trust, so they have a very safe learning environment. These examples ring true of the idea that as teachers we need to teach students skills to manage their emotions and develop a nurturing learning environment that is free of ridicule. This video has been very useful to me, especially this year. The boys in the 9th grade are very immature, and now I can say with confidence cannot manage their emotions. Every year at the beginning of the year, I go over how important it is to be respectful when learning a language. If someone pronounces a word wrong or funny, it is important not to laugh, to be respectful. We are all learning the new language and are learning new words. I have one class where many of these emotionally inept boys are disrespectful. Not knowing what this class was like at the beginning of the year, I didn't think to spend more time on creating a more safe environment, because I have not had to before. I now know I need to revisit this and spend half a class period or more on this. Also, so when we discuss other cultures and customs of Spanish-speaking countries, students can feel safe to share their real feelings, opinions, and comments with the class. I do believe this video was very informative. Sometimes we get so caught up in teaching content, like the 5th grade teacher said, we forget about life skills they need as well. The second video, Culture and Learning, discussed how important it is to bring in students' cultural backgrounds and make connections to what they are learning. When you build on the students' experiences, the students better understand who they are and where they came from, and can relate to the topic more and in turn feel connected. The video states that in a culturally relevant classroom, teachers validate students' experiences, students feel connected and bridges are created to what they are studying. Students see themselves represented in the classroom, and they don't feel like just someone in the room. In turn, they see themselves in the bigger school community. And lastly, teachers learn about their students. In a real-life example was a 6th grade classroom making memoirs of their own family histories. I thought it was such a meaningful project to see the pride in the students talking about their relatives. It brought families in and got them involved. The teacher explained how it created a social network of knowledge between families and between friends. Earlier I stated how a classroom becomes relevant looks like. The video also stated what culturally relevant teaching looks like. There is a consciousness of cultures, there's academic achievement, and a social and political consciousness, and knowing how this relates to the bigger social and political experiences. When I think about these ideas, I automatically think of how important it is for students in my classroom to be able to share their experiences, customs, and culture, to be able to compare how they are to the different Hispanic customs and cultural experiences, to help students have greater respect for other cultures. The school I teach at is mostly white with a small population of Hispanics. For them to be comfortable sharing their own customs, it is as important as well for students to see real-life examples. In Spanish 3, when the holiday Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead, comes, the students create presentations to give to elementary students, to teach them about the holiday. I could add to that project that in the future, they have the presenters create their own artwork that represents their family members and their cultural background for deeper understanding on their part as well as the children they are teaching. I thought this video was also very informative in that to really get to know students and get connected and bring out the best in them, we need to know who they are. The third video, Learning from Others, focused on how students learning in a social context can help students think critically, learn how to work together, and can bring out the best in students. The video states how Vygotsky had the idea that learning is social. The first example they share is a classroom, was a 5th grade classroom. They were creating a butterfly garden. There are many aspects to this project, and it was interdisciplinary in art, science, math. The culture of the classroom changed. Each student became an expert at something. The students who were really good with computers were able to help others. The students who were good with art were able to help others. And the students who were good at writing were able to help others and edit their work. It showed how teachers and peers can assist in the learning process. The second classroom example showed a high school social studies teacher and how the teacher used managed dialogue. He set up the classroom in a circle and he managed the conversation but let the students share their thoughts and ideas about the topic. It took the assistance of the teacher, but it got students to share how they felt, which in turn gave them an emotional attachment to the content and learn the information and forced them to think critically. Like the first example, it helps bring out students' best skills. The high school teacher talked about how even though a student may struggle with their writing skills, they can share their opinion in the dialogue. This would be very useful in a Spanish classroom where we would want to discuss topics or current events, or even the rich histories of the Spanish-speaking world. So many students are social learners and need to be able to be social learners that have group discussions or projects where all are involved is important. Here are the questions I ask you. How do you create a so-called safe classroom? Give an example of a situation where students learned socially. Was it successful?